Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Morning.
We're going to give people just a few more minutes to get here, and then we'll start the meeting. We'll give them about another 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me know when you guys can see it. So the first thing we're going to do is learn how to navigate to the new travel claim forms. So we just navigate to the payment services website and then click on travel, or excuse me, yeah, click on travel. Actually, we're going to click on forms. I'm sorry. Once we click on forms, we're going to go navigate to the forms gateway and type travel. And the new travel expense forms are there. If a person's travel has taken place between January of 2024 to September 2024, you're going to go ahead and use the first one. Any travel that took place after October 1st through the end of the year will go on the new travel claims form. Okay. There's also a new guest form out there that's active. And it's, again, the old one is for January 1st through September 30th, and the new one is for October 1st going forward. And the reason there are two for each is because we have new per diem rates. The old per diem rates were for 2024. The new per diem rates are for the 2025 fiscal year. We'd also like to show you guys how to navigate to the travel policy. And I'm just going to go ahead and back up. So to get to the travel policy, you just go ahead and navigate to payment services, click on travel, and the travel policies are here. We got a new updated version of the CSUB travel policy. We're pretty excited to roll that out. It's got a new look and feel to it with some active links. There's also a link to the CSU policy, the overall policy, if you ever have a need for that. We highly recommend that anyone who's going to travel for any reason on CSUB business to read the travel policies because there is some new and updated information in there. And we just want to make sure that everybody is aware of what those changes might be. There's also a travel claim documentation checklist that we recommend that everybody use. Just kind of make yourself aware of it before you take off on travel and share it with your colleagues. Let them know that this information is out there and it's out there to help them. We spoke a little bit about the new per diem rates that went into effect as of October 1st. And also there is a meeting tomorrow, the 17th, um, to go over the new per diem rates in depth. So if anybody has a need to learn more about the new per diem rates, we would recommend that you come to our meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Hi, Evelyn.
Hi, sorry, I have a quick question.
Sure.
So I was looking at your guys' travel authorization form that we have on our, CSUB website. The mileage hasn't changed on that specific um form. So what would be the new numbers that we're using?
Mileage hasn't changed. New mileage rates were updated earlier this year. The mileage rate is 0.67 cents per mile.
Okay, yeah, that's the same one that I've been using. Okay.
Mhm. Any other questions? All right. Amanda?
Yes, so this just happened on this is kind of like goes over with ProCard as well, but I arranged travel for two employees attending the same conference, staying at the same hotel. Um, the room reservation actually billed to my ProCard that I used, as in like billed in full instead of just putting on as a reservation. And I wanted to make sure that the best way forward to correct that, if that is something, because that's never happened before. I think the hotel that I built it, or that they're um, going to be staying at, that was just for that particular reservation. That was how it was processed. I didn't know whether there would be like a waiver, like a one-time waiver that could be done, or whether I need to contact the hotel directly and provide them with the employee credit cards to then transfer that billing to them, because that's not happened before. And I wanted to make
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you for asking. I'm going to allow Sally to answer.
So you book the hotel, you hold the hotel with your Pro card? Is that what you said, Amanda, right?
Yes.
Okay. Usually
Yeah.
you shouldn't do that because like that it could happen things like that they'll charge your Pro card. It should be hold with their own credit card, not with your Pro card. The only way you should use your Pro card is to do like for hotels for students, not for staff and faculty.
Okay. So you would prefer that I contact the hotel directly and transfer their reservations to their personal credit cards?
If you can, yes. If not, then we just have to make a notation for Melissa that she's going to review your Pro card.
Okay. That's what I was wondering, because I didn't want to submit my pro
Mhm.
card reconciliation yet without confirming with both of you if
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah, and
So,
you might want to ask Melissa too in that situation because she's the one that's going to be reviewing your Pro card. But normally you shouldn't use your Pro card to book hotels for staff or faculty, only for students and
okay.
yourself.
I believe
Okay.
Melissa is on this call. Melissa, if
Oh,
you're there,
Melissa.
could you
Yeah,
chime in?
so this was gonna be like I wanted to jump into the open lab today because I had seen Amanda's email and I wanted to bring it up. And I didn't
Thank
want to
you.
respond without an answer. So Felly, please correct me if I'm wrong. Or better yet, it clarify for me. So if a card holder, because I've seen this too, where usually there are travel expenses like hotel reservations, it's usually only like a deposit and then they
Mhm.
pay the rest of it, once they've stayed there. But in Amanda's case, it seems like the hotel just charged her completely for the entire stay rather than just like a deposit.
Yeah. The depo
So
I'm
my
sorry.
question is that an issue in terms of like travel policy? Because I didn't really see anything in particular to that
Yeah, we
That's
situation.
where
also,
I was confused too, because I was like,
Yeah.
it says should not, and
mhm.
instead of just saying hard line, do not ever do this ever. So I was like, maybe
Yes,
there's wiggle room. I
I
was
know. Yeah,
not.
we recommend for not to book using for anyone that's gonna whoever does the travel needs to book
hmm
their own hotel and pay their own expenses.
But
Okay.
The
it's
only
okay if the hotel charges the entire stay rather than just a deposit, right? Or is that like, no, they shouldn't be doing that?
No, they shouldn't be doing that.
Okay.
So they
I
shouldn't even
was
be holding it all with their pro card. Staff should be doing that. Staff or faculty should be using their own card to hold the hotel or to pay a deposit.
I was gonna say
Oh,
this
okay.
is the first time that I've ever actually been billed because it's like I'm the person responsible for arranging the travel and for my
Hmm.
entire department, and I've never once actually been billed by a hotel up front for a hotel reservation. It's just my card is the one on hold, and then the person who's actually attending, when they check out, they use their card, and then we proceed with the reimbursement. So it's never been an issue before, but this hotel, it's just for people heads up, it's the Queen Mary Hotel down in Long Beach. It's for the ECOG conference with the chancellor's office. Um, which, yeah, this is the first time this has ever happened. So that's
Yeah,
why I was like, oh, okay.
probably when they checked in, they forgot to switch the card. So that's why we recommend not to use your pro card to hold the
Oh,
room
they
if it's
haven't even
not for
checked.
you.
They haven't even checked in yet. The conference doesn't take place until the 24th.
Oh, so they just
They build
charge
up
you.
front in full. Yeah.
Yeah, there is some companies that do that,
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
So,
would probably reach out to them, Amanda, and see
hmm
if they can just charge you or like
Transfer.
yeah, or just refund you like the entire stay if they can.
Mm.
If not, then I'm not sure what the travel office would need
um,
in terms of documentation
I
relates
wonder
to that.
so when are they supposed to check in? Oh, they're in there right now, right? That's why you said.
No. So one of them is checking in officially on the 23rd of this month, and the other is checking in on the 24th. She's only going for one overnight stay, so it is slightly staggered, but they
Hmm.
they have not actually attended this conference yet. It's upcoming.
Okay.
So
So yeah,
yeah.
try to see if you can contact the hotel and see if there's a way for you to switch the card. That way they'll
hmm
give you back your deposit and charge it to the card that's supposed to be charged.
Yeah, because I was wondering what would happen if they were just like, no, whether I'd be able to
Hmm.
get like a one-time waiver because it is going to
Yeah.
be billed, obviously to our department. It's not going to anybody else. But
Hmm.
um, I didn't know what,
Yeah. Yeah. I
the
know.
particular. Yeah,
Yeah, I know it happens sometimes. But yeah, if you can, if it's possible, if you can have them switch it, or
sure.
whenever they check in, also ask them, well, when they check in, can they just give you their card and you could
hmm
charge the rest to them or everything? And just
Okay.
see if what they can possibly, that way you won't have all of it charged to your pro card.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And
I'll
just write
I'll
a
do that
comment. Yeah, and just write a comment if they can't do that. Just write a comment what happened on the travel claim.
on the travel. Okay, on the travel
Mhm.
claim. Sure, no problem. All right. Thank you very much.
Tanya?
Hey, so I have something to add to this part of this conversation, with a little bit of clarification for Amanda's sake also. I've had this situation happen to me before where it was the exact same situation. Unfortunately, for this particular instance and other instances, it was an international, it was abroad. That is a standard policy for them. So I think there needs to be some understanding from both the pro card and the travel office in those situations. Sometimes you can't avoid those situations. Also, if it's a conference hotel and they bill in advance, there's nothing you can do about that. But also, if if somebody doesn't have a pro card and this situation has happened specifically, they thought they were holding it on their own credit card because they didn't have a pro card, and the hotel billed them for the first night stay. The problem with that is the travel office won't reimburse them on their personal credit card for that stay. So can we get some sort of allowance for the fact that some people may have to pay well in advance for at least one night stay? If you're asking Amanda to have her, whoever it is, transfer it to a credit card, if they don't have a pro card and they're going to put it on their credit card, and you're talking about months in advance, do you expect people to have that credit card debt on their own personal credit card if they don't have a pro card without reimbursing them for it before the trip has happened?
Yeah, we can't reimburse them ahead. So they can apply for the Pro card. And if they're using Concur, they can apply for a Concur credit card. That's the only thing we can give them option
Right,
to
we're talking
do.
about the paper claims though, right? This is what
Yeah,
the paper claims are?
yeah.
Okay. So
I'm
in
just
that
saying, yeah,
instance, you don't have any mechanism for somebody who doesn't have a pro card or for
yeah.
somebody who needs to book a hotel stay. So there is no workaround or
Well,
a solution to that problem.
also like Amanda, she can contact Melissa and say, hey, can we allow this a one time to
Okay.
use, because this person doesn't have a Pro card and he doesn't want to have to pay it ahead because he doesn't have that budget to do that. Just by sending an email and contacting her, and then maybe meanwhile they can
Okay.
apply for the Pro card. That's probably the only options that we might have.
That is what happened in my instance. I just wanted to give Amanda a little bit of, you know,
Yeah,
a path
yeah.
to be able to make this happen. I think that, if you're not understanding that sometimes those things happen,
And it
you know,
does. We
and
understand.
everybody has to work together to do
Yes.
that. But I don't think it's fair to ask somebody, a faculty member or whatever, to put $500 on their credit card for a conference that's in 6 months from now.
Yeah, and our department will not be approving Pro Card requests for any other employee. There's no need for it.
Mhm.
We like to try to control those kinds of things within our department, so we limit Pro Card requests to
So
very few people.
this travel would be something that somebody's going to have to pay out of pocket well in advance of the conference. So, and I understand your conference is coming up here in the next couple of weeks, but I've had
Yeah,
situations where it was like 6 months in advance, and I certainly can't ask people to carry that burden for that 6 months or pay off their credit card in the meantime because the travel officer, because CSUB doesn't pay for the interest fees on the credit cards either. So anyway,
yeah.
that's my 2 cents.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's why we asked to right away submit their travel expense claim. So that way we can try to process as soon as possible.
Take my hand down, sorry.
Okay. Are there any other questions? All right, moving on. We'd like to let you know if a person submits a travel and expense claim without the proper documentation, we will return it to you and you'll have to provide the missing documentation and resubmit it through Adobe Sign. We'd also like to let you know that travel expense claims that are submitted more than 60 days past the end date of the trip will be considered taxable and will go on your W-2 form. And you'll also have to have a VP approval on that. To find the travel authorization form, it's also on our forms gateway and as well as the monthly mileage report. Kelly, you want to go ahead and cover per diem?
Oh, um, the new rates that we have in the per diem, it started on October 10th. So let me share my screen. First, make sure. Let me pull that information. So we added a new form. And we just want to make sure you select the correct information. So for January through September, if you have any travel from that date, you would complete this form. And when you're searching for the per diem amount, you have to make sure you select the right drop down. Let me show you right now. Okay. So when you look at it, looking it up, you can click on this box or the one down here to search for that amount. So this one will take you to this. I'm just selecting any state right now. Let's see. And then under drop down where it says select fiscal year, make sure you select 2024. So any travel you have from January 1st to September of 2024, you have to make sure you select this drop down. To give you the correct per diem amount. So that will be for that one. And if you have any travel that is from October, starting October, you'll click on this one travel claim. And then you can select, again, you can click on that box. And it'll take you straight to saying 2025. So this is the correct fiscal year that's selected already for you there. And then here you can put the state they went to, the city. And that will give you the new rate starting October 1st. So it's changed a little. So it seems like they gave you a little bit more to spend for meals. So that's the new rate that they're giving for people. And I think that should be it on that, on the per diem. Anything else you wanted to add to that?
Actually, we just want to remind people never to save the forms to their computer. We'd like for you to always access the form from the payment services website, as well as any of our other forms. And then, Belly, you were going to talk about the TARF airfare comparison and the agenda and notes boxes.
Okay. So the travel authorization form, the one that's still in the website is still the one that shows the overage, but we are updating that too. You still can use it because the TARP is just an estimate. It's not actual, so you still can use that form that's on the website. And for airfare comparison, we ask anybody that does personal when traveling to make sure they attach an airfare comparison and write on the far right saying airfare comparison. And then the comparison needs to be without personal days on there. Should be just the dates of the conference that's supposed to be, or the dates, and also try to use the same, use the same airfare company and try to use the same kind of time frame of the original airfare. And always make sure an agenda is attached to the travel expense claim. And if you have any thing that happened during your travel, or if the company paid for your hotel, or anything that happened unusual, just make sure you put that on the comment box on the travel expense claim. So that way we know what happened during your travel. And when you send an email asking for payment information, make sure you include there the travel dates and the fund that you use for that. And I think that was it. And the name of the person that traveled whenever you're asking for questions on if payment was issued. You have another question, Tanya?
Yeah, the new box that's at the bottom right-hand corner of the travel claim, what specifically are you looking for in that box?
Hmm. The one where the has the address or the
No,
required?
if you could pull it up.
Mhm. Okay. Hmm. Can you guys see it? Okay.
Scroll down. The required written detail of the trip, has that always been there? Is that new?
We had it there, but it had something else on here. I think it said comments or something like that. So then they decided to change the word on there.
Okay, so what specifically are you looking for in that box?
Like anything that have been that's different, trying to think what happens. Like if they took personal days, you can put on there, took personal days, this date, that date. If
Okay,
if you didn't attended a meal, you could put a reason there.
so it's not really required. It says
No,
required, but
yeah, it's usually if there's something that happened different that normally is
okay, all
not
right.
part of the policy or it doesn't have on there the reason why it was paid or anything
Okay,
like that.
maybe you could change that verbiage because that tripped up somebody in my office. She thought that she had to write like a specific detail of every single day she was traveling. So maybe if you could change that to like notes or whatever. That's just my suggestion because when it says required, she didn't know what to put in there.
Yeah, normally it's for anything outside of the ordinary that
Okay,
happened during this trip. It used to say notes, and it was changed to this required
And I'm trying to remember why
verbiage.
they put that on there.
maybe, yeah, I mean, if you could just
Required.
required for
Sure.
special circumstances or something like that. It's just,
Yeah.
you can
Uh,
understand why that's a little confusing.
mm-hmm. I'll let them know. I'll
Okay,
let Tina and Bianca know, see what we can put on there.
thanks.
Mm-hmm. I think I already said everything I had here. Do you have anything else to add, Yvette?
Inquiries on payment status.
Yeah, I did. I did
Okay.
give them that information.
All right. So next we're going to go ahead. Felly, if you could stop sharing, I'll share how to find the moving and relocation.
And we just added a new tab for moving relocations. So we separated it from where it was. So it's perfect that we could go straight to that tab.
So to find the moving and relocation, and I don't know if I'm sharing the right screen. I don't think I
No,
am.
yeah, you're not.
Okay. Hang on just a sec. Let me get to my screen. All right. So we're going to navigate to the payment services website. And once you're there to find moving and relocation, it's the last item on our site. Go ahead and click moving and relocation. And it's been updated. It's got the new policies and documentation, um, including the moving and relocation policies and procedures for CSU as well as CSUB, and the moving and relocation checklist is there as well. And we've updated the matrices for people to use during this part of their process if people are moving here or whatever. So it's all been updated, all brand new for you to share with your colleagues as well. We also have a new email address for the travel department. It is org-travel@csub.edu. Does anybody have any questions?
I do. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So I have a question. So, our division, equity, inclusion, compliance, we take the students to Haku. I don't know if you're familiar with that trip on campus.
I'm not, but I'm
Uh,
very new. Felly might be.
okay. So we take our students to this trip. It's a conference called Haku, and usually the staff that go have a pro card, and that is the pro card that's the hotel will utilize for holding the lock on all the rooms for the students and the staff. Unfortunately, this time around, the staff that are going, we don't have a pro card. Is there a way that we can use someone in our division's pro card, even though they're not going, or is there a way around that at all?
Hmm. I know we asked not to use the pro card for other staff and faculty, just for students. So they don't, you say that they're going, but the person that's booking the hotel for the students is not going?
Sorry, so everything's already paid for. It's just, you know how usually the hotel will ask for a credit card to be put on file. The staff member that usually goes that has a pro card won't be attending this trip around. So
Mhm.
the two staff members, myself and then one other, we don't have a pro card. Um,
When is your travel happening?
so it will be October 31st and then to the 4th of November.
Okay. Oh, I just don't know if you, I don't think that you'll be able to use another person's pro card. A lot of times the hotel asks for the person, for the holder of the pro card, they'll ask for their card. Is Melissa still here?
Yeah, I'm so
No.
sorry. I had to
Oh,
step away for just a quick moment. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so we're taking a student delegation on a conference trip October 31st to the November 4th. Usually the staff member that is accompanying us on this trip, they use their pro card for the hotel conference to for them to utilize that as the card on file. Unfortunately, this time myself and another staff member, we do not have pro cards, and that staff member that does have the pro card will not be attending. So we were wondering if we could utilize that staff member's pro card for the hotel to have that card on file.
if they apply for a pro card, Melissa, would it be in time for them to go to
When
the,
when is the event?
October 31st.
Hmm.
no, because we don't
Would
want
this
to
be
use,
the only occasion that you would need a pro card? Like to w do you foresee yourself only using the pro card for this specific occasion? Or would you be using it in the future as well? I think that's like my main question.
Believe so in the future as well. That's just something that would be up to my supervisor, unfortunately. So that's why I can't really answer.
will you guys
Yes.
be doing other travel besides this one?
Um, in terms of the conference for the students that occurs every year here on campus,
But like for yourself, you said you don't have a pro card. Are you going to be traveling any other time besides this trip by
I
yourself?
do travel myself. I
Mm,
just been utilizing my personal credit card.
okay, because I was going to say you could apply for a pro card yourself and the other person doesn't have one if you guys going to continue traveling.
And what does that process entail? I'm sorry, I barely started here a year ago.
Mm,
So if you decide to move with a pro card, first of all, that would be a conversation you would need to speak with you and your supervisor about to see if they would approve you having a campus assigned pro card. And if they approve it, you would go into the campus forms gateway and search up pro card application. You would fill that out and it will automatically route to whoever your approver is, and things like that. So it would route, a link would be sent to you. You would fill out the form and then you would sign it, and then it'll automatically route to the individuals whom you had put, initially. And so, um, the long story short, to keep it short, Once that has gone through the appropriate approvals and it reaches our pro card team, we will verify the chart fields that you want to have as your default for your pro card, as well as make sure that whoever is your primary and or secondary approver, that they have delegation authority to sign over that chart field that you are going to be making those expenses to. So once that has been verified and approved, the ProCard team will go ahead and sign your application and start processing your form. That will entail a few emails to you in regards to information, depending, um, because I believe you would probably do you would add travel privileges to your ProCard. So we would send you an email on training to gain CFS access and also the travel policy and things like that. So that's kind of like the short end of it. I would need to speak to my supervisor and see if they would allow an exception uh, to have the individual who does have a pro card in your department to make those reservations for you. I know they can do it for the students, but for other faculty members, it's not allowed necessarily. And so we would need, I would need special approval from my superior to, then communicate to you that that'll be okay. So what I would encourage you to do is email procard@csub.edu, um, and just let us know what you told me right now, the situation in regards to not having a pro card, but needing to, make those reservations. And then I will go ahead and pass it on to my superior and see um, what she decides in
Oh,
regards to that.
you know what? I'm sorry, David.
Yes,
You use Concur, right?
correct.
Okay. Then what you can do is apply for Concur credit card, and that would help you to be able to use it for your travel. And that one usually takes about a week to get it. So if you submit it today, let's see, you should get it by next week. So if you want to do that,
Okay.
I just remember that you use Concur. I always get lost of who uses Concur and who doesn't. So I will go in that route. Go ahead and get the application that's on our website that Yvette is showing you right now. It'll be under, I think it's under the gateway, and just put Concur credit card. You see how it pops out in the bottom?
Oh,
So
okay.
we complete that credit card application, and it'll go to your approval, and then it'll come to my manager, and she'll approve it, and then I will get it last, and then I put a request
Okay.
so
Well,
you can
thank you
get a
very
Concur
much.
credit card.
Are there any other questions? Okay, I don't see any hands raised at this time. Um, so uh, in follow-up for this meeting, we want to make sure that everyone knows how to complete a paper travel and expense claim, right? Where to navigate to be able to find the forms, right? Those are here, and to be able to complete those. Travel authorization form request is here as well. To make sure everybody knows that they have to submit their items through Adobe Sign, and all charge requests must be approved through your department approver prior to booking and routing to accounts payable. And you also need to make sure that when you submit through Adobe Sign, that you list accounts payable as an approver on your form. Kelly, do you have anything else to share?
Everything pretty much covered. Just make sure you don't save that travel expense claim on your desktop. You just make sure you keep on going in there each time you retrieve to submit a travel expense claim. Just make sure you go in there. You can save the link, that way you quickly go into it, but never save it. Always go to that website to retrieve that, because there's constant updates, and we want to make sure you use the current one.
Okay, one more time. Does anybody have any questions? If not, we thank you guys for attending today. And please know that we have these meetings every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for paper claims. And for Concur, it's 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. We thank you for attending, and we'll talk to you soon.